In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my full mobility and recovery stretch routine, which allowed me to get higher kicks and perform the splits. We're going to start this routine off with ankle rotations for 30 seconds on each foot. This really gets blood flowing to the ankles, and I noticed that there's some lack of mobility in my ankles when I do the ankle rotations, specifically on my left ankle. So I've been working on that. And yeah, this is just a really good stretch to get us warmed up. And we're going to start this routine off with our lower body moving up to our upper body. After ankle rotations, we have upward dog with some shoulder stretches. I don't know exactly what that's called, but it feels really good. Into downward dog. And when you're doing downward dog, make sure that you're pushing your heels to the ground. Really try and stretch your calf out and push your heel onto the ground and make it flat. If you stand up after this, you're gonna feel that your feet naturally just sit flatter on the ground, but you're definitely gonna feel it if you push that stretch. Push your heels to the ground. After that, we have a kneeling quad stretch. This also stretches our hip flexors. I notice if I have a lot of knee issues, I either have tight calves or tight quads. So I do these a lot when my knees are hurting, along with the downward dog. But when you do these, it's good to do them after the downward dog because you have to plant your heel into the ground to have the balance to actually do it. If you try and do it without your calf stretch, it's really hard because your ankle and your heel have to be fully extended and touching the ground. So if you're having trouble with the balance, try and sit back on your heel on the front leg. After kneeling quad stretch, we have deep Cossack squats for 30 seconds. You can do these fast, but if you really want to get the stretch, hold it at the bottom, how I just switched to doing. These are good for hip flexor mobility, ankle mobility, and they stretch your hamstrings. After that, we have a seated twist. Now you can do this with your leg on the ground folded or your leg on the ground straight out. I find that it's easier to do it with my leg on the ground straight out. If you're just starting stretching, do it with your leg straight out. You're gonna feel this a lot on the side of your glute and the side of your leg. After that, we have the classic butterfly stretch. Just try and push your knees down to the ground and keep your feet close to your hips and slowly lower your upper body down to really add weight to that stretch. And yeah, these are really gonna open up your hips. Now this one looks a little suspect, but trust me, it opens up your hips. I don't know exactly what it's called. I think it's like a fake split or something. But yeah, just hold this and try and push your hips down to the ground as deep as they can go. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel this. After that, we have this lower back and hamstring stretch. Really push that overhand and you'll feel it in your lower back, and try and keep your legs as straight as possible. After that, just do some twists and move your hands up and down because I find that I twist different parts of my spine when I'm moving my hands up and down. You'll feel it. You'll feel it yourself. Then we have this shoulder stretch. I don't know exactly what it's called, but when I do it like that, it go down. It always cracks my spine. Feels really good. And yeah, we're just stretching out the chest, stretching out the shoulders. You interlock your fingers, then externally rotate to perform that. And then we just have a sideways shoulder stretch. These are just some shoulder stretches. We started all the way at the lower body with the ankles. Now we're moving up. If you pull hard enough, the stretches the lats too, which feels really nice. But dead hangs are champion for stretch a lot. So you could add dead hangs in this. If you're doing it outside, just go find a tree. Finally, we have these prayer hand thingies. I've been seeing people do this to show their shoulder mobility. And it's actually not that hard. If you can't do it, just continue doing the interlock finger thingy because it's pretty much the same movement. And yeah, that's it for this mobility routine.